Hi guys, postman's bin. I can feel what this is through the bag. Oh, background noise, washing machine's on. Yeah, this is something I've ordered from AliExpress. In fact, I've had one of these before. You better open the bag so you know what I'm talking about. It's a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter and receiver, but toy grade, not hobby grade. The sort of thing that you find in most of the toy grade cars now. So there we are, an ordinary cheap controller. Two AA batteries and a screw. And then here we have a receiver. Motor plus, motor minus, motor plus, motor minus. Fairly beefy looking H bridge there. On off switch. LEDs tell us it's switched on. Yeah, 2.4G. So what I thought we'd do with it is do a conversion. This one is 40 megahertz, so we'll give it a run to make sure it works, and then we'll see if we can do a straight swap with this, because I do get questions about I've lost my controller for my car, what do I do? My usual answer is try and find another car with the same frequency, but this would be an alternative. Buy yourself a replacement, take the opportunity to upgrade to 2.4 gigahertz so you get better range, and away you go. Lots of new brights use lots of clips to hold things together, and I think that's what's stopping this one coming apart. Or is that another screw? Oh, that is another screw. No, it isn't. That's a dummy. I thought it was. So why aren't you coming off? So a clip just there, that's why. And a clip there. Where else are there clips? There's clips. Clip there. Right, okay. And that clip there again. How awkward. And that was just to get the cover off the receiver board. Right. The receiver is directly soldered to the battery contacts underneath. So I'll have to desolder them to get the receiver out. But then all we need to do is get that to fit in there. Hopefully there's enough space. And then solder one of the motors. Gosh, I think the washing machine's rocking about a bit. One of the motors to the back and one of the motors to the front. what's happened is the tags come up underneath as well. I expect that one will come up if I pull it. Yeah. But I still want those bits because I want to solder those on for the batteries to power the other one, the new one. Right, that's better. Obviously that's going to be hot. Right, still that was easier to see what I was doing that way. And we'll take the wires off the motor. Now you might ask me, which colour wires am I going to use? Well, the answer is I've no idea. I'll put them on and we'll find out whether it goes forwards and backwards or left and right. And there is something else about the new one that I'm not going to mention, because if it isn't what I think, then there isn't a problem. If it is what I think, we might have a problem. Doesn't that sound cryptic? Might as well take the batteries out. Right, get on back in. Okay. So, new one. Like I say, we don't know which is which. We do know that is positive and that is negative, but we don't know which motor wires we want. Oh, come on, solder on. Just putting a little bit of solder on them to tin them, as they say. Right, just double check again which one's positive, which one's negative. That one's negative. That one's positive, so we'll just temporarily tag it on. Very temporary. So we can just see if it works. It's always a good idea to find out if something works before you do too much on it. Yeah, no idea which is going to be driving, which is steering. I'm going to guess these. I've got the fan running to get the fumes out of the way, but it does mean it cools down the soldering iron a bit. Right, that should be the basics. Yeah, obviously the on-off switch there is not going to fit down there. Might have to rig something else up if we want the on-off switch to work. And I might treat this to some fresh batteries rather than rechargeables. Nice cheap Poundland AA batteries. So forwards backwards is the left right, so I got those the wrong way round. Okay. battery back out of there so we're not soldering it while it's live. Battery just dropped on the floor. So on this one, the yellow and blue are the steering motor connections, and the green and white the drive motor. We had a 50-50 chance. And because we don't know which is forwards and backwards, I'll just have a look. Pop that back in there. Lift that up. Oh, got it the right way round. Okay, so forwards and backwards is okay. Let's go for it with left and right. What do you reckon? What's the chances of getting it the right way around? No, wrong way round. Come on. Right, left. Okay, we are okay. I did remember the listings talked about tank and that, and the way they've arranged these buttons, you can also use the front and back. So if you were doing tank steering, you could do it like that. If that makes any sense to you. Multi-purpose, but it also means that if you accidentally press the wrong one, it's going to go the opposite way to what you expect. Anyway, looks like it's all working. What we need to do is fit this on here neatly and decide what we're going to do about the on-off switch. You could rely on just taking the battery out, or you could solder onto the back of the switch tags and stick a switch down there. You could even desolder the switch there if you wanted. I'll have a look, see what I've got, see if I've got a switch that we can stick down there so we can turn it on and off externally. The reason the switch has disappeared is the switch is actually on the receiver board. I found a suitable switch. I'll put a bit of hot glue on it because there's no screws to hold it in place down there. So I'll do that in a second. So we're going from the live of the battery, or positive, down to the switch, from the switch up to the receiver board. So we can leave it switched on there and switch it on from outside the car with that one. Now I'll cut off these bits of plastic that stick up and get in the way of the board, and then we'll put the board on there. Probably a bit of double-sided tape or something just to hold it in place. All finished. Just a little bit of hot glue in there to stop that switch from jumping out. On, off, on, off. That looks okay. Circuit board is just some of that foam double-sided tape to hold it in place. I could have screwed it down. I'd have to drill some holes to make it fit, but I think double-sided tape will do for me. Tidied up these connectors, put some shrink down tubing on it, heat shrink tubing, just so we haven't got live bits of wire sticking up. And just before we put the cover back on, I'll just show you the steering, just because I like it. It's very, very simple. It's just a peg on a cam that goes around and pushes the steering arm one way or the other. Obviously it's too fast to see on the camera. So, focus. We'll put the cover back on and give it a run. So, just a quick run to check it works with the new transmitter and receiver. Forwards, backwards. And as I said, these are set up so you can use the side buttons to do the same thing. Right, left, and that is right, and that is left. Oh. I'll tell you what, that right hand button's a bit, intermittent. Honest, I didn't crash on purpose. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to worry about it now, but I might have to take it apart and check. That just seems a little bit, it's not working every time. Yeah, definitely a bit intermittent, that right button. So it works. So there you go. If you've lost your controller, you can do a swap. You can buy this. I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't terribly expensive, although I'd still think it's cheaper to buy another radio controlled car. But we've converted it from 40 megahertz to 2.4. In theory, we should have better range. We'll have to go out somewhere to try that. But 2.4 usually gives you a better range than the old 27 and 40. and 45 and 49 and so on. Just one final thing. This one, which you will see is identical, is one that I bought last year or the year before or something like that, and it all worked fine briefly, and then somehow or other the receiver died. So I'm just interested to see whether I can bind this controller with that receiver. I wonder which way we do it. Switch that on first, and then that one. Okay, it stopped flashing. Yeah, brilliant. So that one works. And if I switch that one back on again, that one doesn't work because they bind together automatically. Switch that one off, that one off, that one off, that one on, that one on. We're bound. Switch that one on, and we're not bound. So yeah, that's good. That's how they bind, because I thought somehow or other the receiver board had lost the signal and become unbound, and I wrote to them asking them how does it bind, and just got standard Chinese hand-me-offs. I think basically they didn't know. I sent them a video and all the rest, and they just said it's working right, and I said no, it ain't. Long story. So that's one of the reasons I've never trusted AliExpress, because I just got nowhere with the fact that it had stopped working. So there we go, that's how they bind. That one on, then that one, and they bind. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.